I've come to really enjoy what you're doing and really respect where you came from. You have a really unique story that I want to dive into as we kind of go through our conversation here. But first and foremost, I just want to get your thoughts kind of top line before we start talking too much. What is your feeling about what's happening in the Richard Hart ecosystem right now?
Man, it's first off, I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you taking the time to, sit down and talk with me. And it's one of my YouTube goals here. So, I'm nervous, I'm thrilled. But anyway, and I said this in one of my last videos, man. I'm looking at it as a newcomer. I'm a new person to this HEX ecosystem. And when I see things happening like the drama, it scares a lot of new people away, investment wise and stuff like that. It's not good when you see, the people that's been in since day one, at each other's throats. It just scares. It's not good. It's not good at all. And people really need to start understanding that, even though you've been in this, ecosystem for a while and you have, respect by people, you need to keep that going. And if, you just need to keep bringing on new people and, not pushing them away. But besides the drama, man, what's going on with Richard Hart ecosystem right now is the most exciting thing that I've ever been a part of. Because we can actually say we're investors on something from the ground floor.
Oh yeah.
We're day one people. And how many people can truly say that are just average people? Not many. Because the crypto space has been taken over by VCs, by big institutions and stuff like that, and they're trying to come in and slam the door for us regular folk, like the old financial system has been doing our whole life. So what Richard Hart's doing is awesome for not just the whales, but for the small shrimp fish and us. And so I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am.
That's awesome. That you bring up a lot of great points right there. It's as crypto grows, the traditional markets are going to want to get into it. They're going to want to start manipulating it, and give it enough time, 5 years from now, it's going to be harder and harder for little guys like you and me to get in. So you brought up a lot of really good points there. So you talk about the drama, and we're not going to act like that doesn't exist, but we're going to try to stay positive today. We will acknowledge a lot of it. But before we get into any of this stuff, I want to do something really fun with you. Now, you're not expecting this. It's really only going to be fun to me. It's only a big deal to me, but I'm
already nervous, man.
We're going to do an unboxing. What do you think we might have in this little gem? So here we go. I'm excited about this. I thought about this. I wanted to put together a big stream and have a bunch of people on it. And then I realized that honestly, nobody gives a crap about what I'm about to do. So I'm not as important as I think I am, but you have been a loyal follower of mine. And so I want to share this with you. I think this is going to be a fun opportunity. So lots of comments have been made about the hats, right? K4K loves to make fun of me and my hats. I've got the homemade Epson hats in the back, according to Crypto Heartbeat. But today, with you on my stream, I am excited to make my first change from a HEX hat to a brand new Pulse.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this bad boy right here.
Dude, that thing is awesome.
So we're just, we're going to retire these HEX hats. I'm pulling off the tags.
I love it.
I grew up in the inner city. Pulling off the tags is not something you're supposed to do.
I like it because it's a little Carolina blue.
There you go. If I could get this sticker off, I'd be happier about the situation. But you know what? I'm not even going to try. So here we go. We're just going to try this baby out on the stream. The new PulseChain Crypto Kindness. What do you think, man?
Like $1 million. You look like you're ready for them gains, man.
Damn straight. So now we have a retired rack of homemade HEX hats, and we're all in on PulseChain. I am a PulseChain content creator. I'm happy to talk about HEX, but I'm most excited to be talking about PulseChain and booyah. I got this. I don't know if you're on Facebook. I wish I wasn't, but there's a company that advertises these homemade. So this is a leather patch, and that's embroidered leather. They burn it in there. So wow. I love this hat. It's cool. So
Yeah, I love them burned in leather because it just looks old school. You know, it's rugged. I love the rugged looks. It
yeah,
looks
yeah.
good.
Thanks, man. That was fun for me. You probably don't give a crap. Nobody else does.
That's awesome. I gotta now. I'm gonna have to get you just one up to me. I'm gonna have to get me one now.
So it's the company off of Facebook, Safari Sun, I believe is what the name of the company is. And I seriously just took a screenshot of the Pulse Chain logo from Google and sent it to them. Ordered the hat, and literally 10 days later, here we go. Maybe I'll be able to
Yeah, I
get the
might
sticker off one day.
shoot that to me in my DMs afterwards because I'm gonna have to look into it. I like that.
Yeah, I can even put a link to it in the video description. So anyway, enough about me, even though I am my favorite topic. Um, let's talk about you. You have a really unique story on how you ended up basically on this stream with me today and in the Richard Hart ecosystem. I would like you to share as much of that as you're comfortable with the rest of our viewers, because I think that there are a lot of people that are in similar situations that you came from. And it is, I mean, it's inspiring to me that I never came from that background. Somebody that might have come from that background, it could be incredibly motivating. So I don't want to, set you up too much here, but let
You're
us
fine.
hear how Heinz Crypto got where we are today. What's your story? How'd you get into crypto? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, I guess it stems back from back probably about 10 years ago. I got in an accident, and I was a heroin addict for about 7 years. I was an IV user. I did everything from all the drugs you can name. I was on them. I was a disgusting human being at the time. Um, in and out of rehabs, in and out of treatment several times, and then eventually caught some charges, got in a little bit of trouble, and had to go away for a while. And before I went away, I had got my wife pregnant, and being strung out on heroin, you don't have anything in order, you don't know what you're going to do, you know, and I had to get shipped away for a while, and I couldn't, provide for my family knowing she was out pregnant and stuff like that. So anyway, I get out of from doing time, and I had nothing. I was homeless. We were living on the street, um, and just in a very, very tough position. My child had just been born, and my family had restraining orders on me. Her family lived, across the nation. So it was tough. And so I started, kind of on my journey there of researching really any type of way to make money. Because I was fresh out. I had been off of drugs for a while. My mind was clear. I had gotten some help while I was in there. And so I got out on a mission. And when I got out, so I started doing a bunch of research and, trying to, how do I make money? How do I make money? And crypto popped up.
Okay.
So I started going down the rabbit hole of crypto. Make a long story short, I made my first account with Robinhood. I was a Robinhood investor.
Okay.
And started searching it on YouTube. With my questions that I had, and ran across BitBoy. So I was a diehard BitBoy watcher. Religious. I mean, I would be at work and I'd watch his streams at lunch.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so I got in, and guess what happened with me following BitBoy?
You got wrecked.
I got wrecked, guys. I got wrecked, guys.
Crap.
So
Which is the last thing you needed at
but
that point in your life.
exactly, because the little money that I did have saved up, I was a gambler, man. I had it in all the shit coins that he was shilling. I was trying my best to make a come up real quick, but after saying all that bad stuff about BitBoy is the one that introduced Hex to me, that
Okay.
introduced Richard Hart to me. The first time I ever seen Richard Hart was on, I'm sure y'all are familiar with it, the Around the Blockchain on BitBoy's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen this guy come on and just straight talk mad cash crap to everybody on that panel, telling them how they were wrong about everything that they were talking about. They don't know nothing about Bitcoin. They don't know nothing about crypto. And, the metaverse is fake and all this other stuff. And I was like, dude, I was raised around people like this, and you know, I love that mentality. I love what he's talking about. He's a genius. So I started digging into Hex, and well, I should back up. I've been in crypto now for about a year, a little over a year, and been in Hex since let's see, March, April, May, June, about May of last year, I guess you could say. But really just fell in love with Hex and the community, and you know, because after I seen what this community had to offer, after being in all those other crap coins and seeing what kind of communities they had, I fell in love, man. And that's really when I had a change of heart. I seen you guys, Crypto Kindness, K for K. I mean, I can't name them all. All the guys, if y'all are watching this, I really appreciate what y'all have done for this community, because it really changed my outlook and you know, how I'm really going about things in the crypto space. Because my mission here is to just steer people away from the wreckage of the other side of crypto and try to, you know, just be the light to anybody that you know, that just needs it. And that's really why I'm here.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so motivating and inspiring. Congratulations, first of all, for recognizing your own challenges and addressing them and getting clean. That's the biggest victory here, honestly. And I'm proud of you, brother. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
You mentioned that
it ain't been easy.
Oh God, I can't imagine. I can't even imagine.
But,
you mentioned
I'm
sorry, go on.
I want to say one thing, you know, everything that I did do, I've done some grimy and harmful things to people. And I do have remorse about it, but I don't regret it, because if it's made me who I am today. And, you know, I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful for it.
That's a great perspective, man. We are the people we are today because of the mistakes we made yesterday. And if you're on the right path, then at some point you just got to acknowledge that stuff happened and be thankful that you are where you are. So I thank you very much for sharing that point. Man, I don't even know how to follow up with that. Honestly, I do want to give you some cred here. So first of all, if you're listening to this and that was inspiring to you, that was motivating to you, if it wasn't, you're a heartless person, and please don't follow me anymore. Hit the like button. Let's show Heinz Crypto here that we appreciate him, and hit that like button. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. I want the audience to see. So you went from you know, coming from a tough position to, you got out, you were broke. You even mentioned to me at one point you were homeless. You got into crypto, and now you're a content creator for HEX PulseChain and PulseX. I mean, that's a huge leap in a relatively short period of time. So I have on my screen here, Heinz Crypto equals freedom. Your channel is blowing up. You've got 443 subscribers. Y'all, if you're, you know, if you're any of my subscribers, jump over and take a look at Heinz Crypto's channel. Support him, subscribe to his channel. He's doing some really, really neat stuff. He's got a couple of videos down here that I thought were fantastic. Things are about to get wild with PulseChain, huge opportunities. Jump on over and support this gentleman, because he's bringing a lot of quality content to our community. He's helping onboard people, and, you know, he's got a really unique voice in this space, and we want to support him. So I wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I want to unpack one of the things that you said there, because I think this is a real question that we are faced with a lot as content creators. You know, you mentioned BitBoy, and he's peddling all these shit coins, and they're wrecking people. How do you discuss with people you're onboarding or people that are following your channel when they say, well, HEX is a shit coin or PulseChain is a shit coin? I mean, you're telling me that the stuff BitBoy is shilling is crap, but I think the stuff you're shilling is crap. How do you address that?
You know, one big thing that I tell people is, you know, you can't just judge a coin by its analytics, I guess you could say, or its use cases. You got to look at what surrounds that coin. You know, the community is 90% of a project. You know, with no community, with no followers, with no, you know, love for the project, it's not going to go anywhere. You know, and not only does HEX and PulseChain have community, they also have 100% flawless uptime, as Richard would say. It has history. You know, it's proven that it can run on the blockchain without any kind of disruption.
Yeah.
And it's one of the, you know, it's one of the few that can't be altered. The code is, you know, immutable. And if you can show me one other project that has 100+ content creators that support it and try to teach people about it and that live and die by what Richard Hart has built, I'll listen to your conversation, but I really don't think you're going to change my mind. And everybody looks for that passive income. You can't get the trustless yield that you can get from HEX anywhere else. You just can't, unless you want to enter some risky ass liquidity pools that could,
Yeah.
you know, basically lose everything that you put into it. So, you know, it's brilliant. Delayed gratification is probably one of the most incredible functions that you can add to a project in crypto, because everybody has the problem of now, you know. And you know, if you lock something up, guess what? You can't get it. And if you do try to get it, you're going to get penalized. So really, it's all a mental game. If you can get your mind right and you can sit there and hold for a certain amount of time, which I always recommend at least longer than a year, for multiple reasons. But with HEX, put you in some stakes, ladder those stakes. You know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You can live off the interest, and PulseChain and PulseX is just a plus.
Dude, I need to have you on my shoulder every day. That was like, that was the pitch of all pitches, man. If I'm ever bummed, I'm going to be like, hey, little Paul, tell me why I should be excited. And then just have that looped in the background. And that was a great freaking answer, bro.
Thank you.
I could have done that. I would have been like, well, math and
see, man, it's something that's changed my life, and I'm so passionate about it. I could sit here and talk about it all day long. You know, it'd be different if I was just invested in something. I'm not just invested in HEX. I'm trying to live and breathe HEX. Like, I see what it has done for other people, and I'm inspired by that. And when I'm inspired, I don't just throw money in hoping it goes up. I'm not worried about the gains, to be honest with you, because I'm in a point right now in my life to where I can live on what I have. You know, you can't buy awesome relationships and streams like this with money. You just can't. You know, I didn't pay him to come on his channel. He didn't pay me to come on his channel. It's genuine relationships, and that's something that you can't get with money.
Dude, you're giving me goosebumps, brother. I mean, wow, thank you. That's really cool. Honestly, I'm moved by that. Let's talk about the community.
Let's do it.
Your channel early on was mostly dedicated towards what, cow swap? Is that what I watched?
It was airdrop based.
Okay.
You know, just cow swap was the biggest one that was going on at the time, so I was covering it quite a bit. And you know, since then that airdrop has happened, and you know, I was just trying to do stuff to get attention, and you know, you know, stuff like that.
So you made a video at one point that you talked about the cow swap. I think that was the thing you were on at the time. But then halfway through the video, you said, y'all, I'm making a change. I've watched a few, I've stumbled upon some content creators. I'm honored that you named me as one of them. I think K4K, maybe Rags to Riches. You said that this group of people has inspired me, and I'm making a 180-degree change, and I'm going all in on being a content creator for the Richard Hart ecosystem, more specifically PulseChain. Talk to us about that. I mean, that's a big deal. You had your business plan, and then you were like, whoa, I'm doing something else. And you just announced it and you did it. So what was it about the community that you saw? You know, maybe what was it about those videos that inspired you to join us? And since you, I'll let you answer those, and then I'll ask the follow-up question.
I kind of touched on it earlier. You know, it's just, it's not the, I'm trying to get my thoughts together because it's so much, you know, you can't just nail down one thing, but it's the reason why they're making content is the reason why that attracted to me so much. It's not, you guys aren't making content just to get views or, you know, promote stuff or you're not using YouTube as a money for income, and that's just a bonus. Of course, the money's going to come eventually, but that's just a bonus. That's what really caught me about you guys, because all the YouTubers that I had seen in the past, they're just, like I said, like shilling stuff and making courses and that don't really work, paid groups that don't really work. They're saying, oh, this ain't financial advice, but if you join this, I'll give you it doesn't make any sense. So it's just y'all's motives, man, what y'all are creating, how y'all are treating the community. And that's what really changed my mind, because up until that point I had never seen that before. And then I logged on and seen you, and Rags to Riches was a big part of it, and K4K was a big part, and even Crypto Heartbeat and Crypto Coffee. See, it's a lot of them. It's not it's a lot of them. But they actually genuinely trying to teach you something. They don't care if you come on that video and watch it and hit the likes, whatever. They're trying to teach you something because they don't want you to get wrecked. They don't want you to lose money. And that was a big aha moment for me. And I took it and ran with it and started reaching out to you guys. And fortunately enough, you guys reached back out to me, and I was speechless. I was absolutely speechless. Didn't know what to do. And it's just an honor. It's an honor to be sharing this stream with you today.
Oh man, it's my honor, honestly. You're motivating me, so thank you. I want to follow up on what you just said there, because I couldn't agree with you more. I started my channel, I guess back in November, and I had some goals too. I mean, there was a certain few of people that I followed when I started getting into HEX, and I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could do a stream with them. And I kind of had this idea, just based on how things tend to pan out in the world. When somebody becomes kind of popular or famous, they're too good for you, right? Especially the little guy. And so I expected that, but I was so surprised when that didn't pan out. And what I mean was, like, I reached out to K4K. He was my first interview, and I was like, hey, you're really smart and I'm not so much. I could learn from you, and I'd love to do an interview. And he's the nicest dude. He calls me back and we're chatting, and we have a great interview together, and I've stayed in touch with him. And I was like, oh, wow, that was cool. Probably a one-off situation. But then I reach out to Rags to Riches. Same thing. Guy calls me back in like 20 minutes. I shouldn't say calls, but responds in Twitter or Telegram or something like that. And then my big claim to fame, just personally, was I just did a live stream with Panda, Crypto Panda, last Thursday, and I told him, I'm like, I'm this fanboy because he's the dude I watched like very, very first, right, to learn about HEX and stuff like that. And it's so stupid, but I was nervous. Like, I sent him I tagged him on Twitter, and I was like, hey, we should do this. And he responds immediately. He's like, heck yeah, let's do it. And then we did our stream, and I think he and I ended up talking for like 2.5 hours. Our stream was an hour and a half, and he and I talked for a long time after that. And it's just like, wow, these people, to your point, they're genuine people. They're here to help. They're interested in, developing relationships. They're not doing it for the money. They don't want to see people get wrecked. And it's so different than all these other communities. You look at the Bitcoin communities, and those guys are just, they're basically saying shit so they can hear themselves talk and feel good about themselves. And some of the other communities are just trying to shill you a token. And there's a lot of people out there that are taking paid promotions and just trying to make a buck. And as far as I have found to date, I'm sure I'm wrong, as my wife would tell you, just as sure as the sun is going to rise tomorrow, I'm wrong. But I haven't found anybody that's streaming on HEX PulseChain PulseX that's also shilling crap.
Right.
Hope I'm not wrong, but I probably am. It is what it is. But the majority of the people are just doing it. They're trying to open folks' eyes to what this is, what the potential is long-term of HEX, of PulseChain, and educate folks, much as you did to me earlier when I asked you about, well, how do you tell someone this isn't a shit coin? And man, you knocked it out of the park. From now on, I'm gonna like clip that little talk, and when someone asks me, I'm just like, oh, go watch this video. I appreciate it.
I mean, it's just, it's true, man. It really is true. You can't find any other project in crypto that this one has. And that's why it really upsets me, not to go back to the drama, but that's why it really upsets me when I see stuff like what's going on right now. Because, it's just, I'm not going to go into it, but it's just, it's the reason people got in this community the reason a lot of people got in this community is because of the community, and when I see it get troubled, it's just discouraging. It's just discouraging.
It is. And, I'm going to tell on myself here. I am a kid at heart. Like, the only reason why anybody thinks I'm an adult is just because of how old I am. But I'm 18. I'm a goofball. I still eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I watch cartoons. I was listening by choice this morning in the car to the Legos theme music, the Legos movie theme music. Like, this song's going to get stuck inside you. You might not have even seen it. But so Legos 2, the theme song is, well, actually, that is the theme song. This song's gonna get stuck inside your head. But anyway, there's a song in that everything's not awesome. And the words, I listened to it and I was like, oh man, this is way too deep for the HEX community. But the words, the actual lyrics are, everything's not awesome. Things can't be awesome all the time. Oh shit, now I'm gonna have to try to sing it. I'm definitely gonna edit this out. Everything's not awesome. Things can't be awesome all the time. That's unrealistic expectations. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try to make everything awesome in a less idealistic type of way. And I was like, well, that pretty much summarizes what we need to be doing right now. It doesn't need to be awesome. It can't always be awesome. It's unrealistic.
No, it can't. You're right. It's 100%.
And if we try and we work together, that's how we ultimately make everything awesome.
Right. And that's how you get stronger. That's how the community gets stronger.
That's right.
100%. 100%.
So we were talking about, before we hit the record button here, we were talking about the content creator's dilemma. And so, and a lot of this goes back to mental health. I did a interview with Hex Orca, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks ago, and I was really, really impressed with how he just basically took every answer back to, dude, you just got to work on your mental health. You got to work on your mental health. And you and I were talking about the dilemma that we as streamers have, and you kind of hit on the Twitter component of it. So I'm going to turn this over to you and let's talk about that. If you remember what we're talking about and the importance of it.
It's just really how it's, just how you need a break, man. And especially, everybody's on edge right now with, well, let's start here. Us as content creators, me being new, so, I can't really speak to the older people, but I'll speak in my opinion. Right now, you can only make content about so much because, you can only say so many things about HEX so many times. And you don't want to sound repetitive. But, and the only thing to really make content on right now in the RH ecosystem is all these sacrifice phases and other projects coming up. But that's, a very touchy subject in the community right now, unfortunately. Right. And, there comes a time, just like me and you were saying, before this, where you just got to log off. Your community's not going anywhere. Because if you don't just log off and just log off of Twitter, you're going to go insane and you're going to make some very horrible decisions that you're probably going to regret in the future.
Yeah.
Because you can burn a lot of bridges really quick and not mean to do it when you're not in the right state of mind. And, what people just, what I just really want to get across is, like I said, because I haven't been in here a while, so I can't really, but I see it, I see it. And that's the only reason I'm talking about it, is because just people grind and don't care about their self. And, it's just a snowball, man. We just need to sit back, wait on PulseChain, love each other, support each other, and just, stay off of the toxic Twitter. It's tough not to, because we're sitting there every morning waiting on that tweet from Richard Hart. saying, let's do this thing. But, you know, there comes a time where you just need to turn that phone off and just enjoy your family if you have that. And, you know, just go outside, enjoy what you can, enjoy life, and just, you know, it's not that serious, man. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. You close the lid and you look up and you realize the world happens in front of you, not in your little, 3x4 inch screen.
Right.
It's one of the challenges I've been dealing with recently as well. It's I hate hypocrites, but as a content creator, I'm a hypocrite because my message is close the screen, turn off Twitter, go outside. But in order for me to make content, I have to stay up on what's happening on Twitter and what's happening. So it's like,
right.
The age old adage, do as I say, not as I do. And I'm not better than anybody else. I can't, I have difficulty controlling my emotions. I definitely get addicted to Twitter and I feel like I need to respond to everything. And, I could tell you from a personal standpoint that this has worn on me. I was sharing with you before we started talking, I'm freaking exhausted. I caught myself yesterday looking at Twitter, like seriously, I probably spent an hour and a half on it yesterday throughout my workday. And that didn't accomplish a freaking thing. No. So I've made my commitment that, you and I get off this stream and I'm hanging it up for 2 weeks. No Twitter, no more videos. I shouldn't say any new videos. I've got a couple videos that I'm going to pull some sound bites out of because I think they're important right now. But I am taking a mental break, and I encourage a lot of people to do the same thing because right now, this might, I don't know, take it. It's not negative. It's not, it is what it is. But the only thing to talk about is nothing. We've got nothing. The PulseX sacrifice is over. PulseChain sacrifice has been over forever. And we're all, please go on.
And see, that's where the controversy comes in because other people start talking about, they start digging down other rabbit holes about other projects. And that's why the craziness starts is because their mind is off of Hex and PulseChain at the moment because they're bombarded with all this other stuff that's coming in. And that's the only thing to talk about. Yeah. And I can see people's points. I can see why people are defensive against it because some people, they just, they have their own beliefs and they love Hex and they'll love Hex until they die, and I get that. And, but that's just, that's the start of a healthy ecosystem though, is when you start seeing things get building and when you start seeing the controversy between people, stuff's happening.
That's true.
People aren't going to like a lot of things that happen, but you can't get, tore up about, an ecosystem that's, just starting to build, because you need projects to build to have an ecosystem, you need it. But touching on, the mental health thing we were just talking about, and I can understand it not wanting to because, you feel like you don't want to let your community down. You want to get the word out there. If you post this one video, you might touch one person that you didn't touch last time. And, you have that bearing down on you when you do take some time off. I'm guilty of it. My wife will tell you, I'll be sitting in the bed and thinking a video. She's like, man, you just got to chill out, just calm down. And, I get it because you do feel like you're going to, but it is good to take some time off and, just work on yourself. And when you're taking time off, it doesn't mean that you can't work in the background on creating good content when you come back.
Right. Sometimes creating good content is working on yourself because you can, like, I shared this with you earlier. I'm going to share it with the community here. I started reading this book. It's called You Are Awesome. And of course, I thought they were talking directly to me because that's how I feel about myself. But I realized that's not what this book was about. This book is about the need to be more resilient. And there is an awful lot of people, myself, I'll be the first one to throw myself under the bus, in our community that need to be more resilient. You can't have a knee-jerk emotional reaction to every freaking thing that somebody says and does. And I'm seeing a lot of that with the, as you mentioned, people getting upset about projects building on PulseChain. Well, what kind of sense does that make? If a developer builds a high-rise building and all the people in the neighborhood picket out side of it and say, we don't want any businesses in here, well, then everybody loses, because now you got
can't
blight.
grow that way.
Yeah, it's
can't grow without.
It is so ridiculous. So, you know, in my stream with Crypto Panda on Thursday, his message was, you don't have to agree with what's being built. You don't have to like it. But the best thing to do is nothing. Just keep your opinions to yourself. Don't get on Twitter and get all mad. We need these projects building on the Pulse chain for all of us to get the gains that we're hoping for. It does nobody any good if you're chirping at the mouth and calling everybody a scam and dumb and stupid, because then we just essentially become the people we used to hate, the Bitcoin maxis. And
exactly right.
It's a fine line to walk on. I mean, yeah, we do have a responsibility, I feel like, as a community, to warn people about the scams that are going to be coming to Pulse chain. Listen, at the end of the day, Binance, BSC, Binance Smart Chain, is known as the scam chain. Well, why is that? Well, because it's super easy to transact really, really inexpensively on Binance. Well, Pulse chain is going to be even cheaper than Binance.
And see, I'm not saying, there's not going to be scams, because it's going to be flooded with scams, but when you see genuine people trying to build genuine things, you got to give them a chance until proven otherwise. In my opinion, that's how I look at it. If you see something genuine, if you don't have a reason to FUD it or anything like that, just,
do nothing.
You don't even have to, you don't even have to support it. But what I do is, I trust until I have a reason not to. So that's how I look at it. Because going back to what I said, if you don't want to be one of these ghost chains that just, and it wouldn't be necessarily be a ghost chain, because you do have the hardcore HEX supporters that will be on it, but you want to bring people over from every facet of crypto, which would be NFTs and, other DeFi and, just, leverage trading. I'm sure there'll be some leverage trading platforms on here. So, it's just stuff that we have to prepare for, because it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
I hope there is leverage trading.
Yeah, we want those people.
Trading. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that one. Because it's going to bring people over, and that's what some people want to do. Yeah, 95% of the people get absolutely destroyed. That's unfortunate, but that's the game they want to play. Those people get destroyed, they go to the casino. Those people get destroyed, they go to the strip club. I mean, everybody's getting destroyed everywhere. I'm not a proponent for it. If somebody wants help getting out of it, I'm happy to do that. But that stuff is going to exist, so it might as well exist on my chain.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's yeah. So the challenge is making content right now. Well, what do we talk about? It's almost like it's an exercise in futility. You're just talking about the same old crap, and it's not going anywhere. And that's challenging. I mean, I put out a video yesterday. I was a little bit overly excited about something that I later learned wasn't necessarily worth getting excited over. And I was surprised at the number of comments that I got from folks. Not nasty, but it was just like, I could tell there was an air of despair in their voice. It was like, I got the blah, blah, blah. Here's another Pulse chain is coming soon. We know it's not coming. It's going to be 2 weeks. I'm bored. I'm frustrated. I got a lot of those. And so at some point, I almost feel like I'm doing the community a disservice by bringing hopium, because then people get their, the expectations get high. And then it's another 4 weeks. The joke now is like, 2 more months. Well, that crap ain't even funny anymore. It's
frustrating. One point I want to touch on,
please,
is, I thought about this the other day. And it's not really a big, but to me, it's a big deal. I was like, damn, that's actually true. Right now, all the sacrifice phases are over, number one. So everybody that we can reach out to and onboard, potentially everybody, they have to market buy this stuff now. At this point, they have to market buy everything. Everybody that we bring into this ecosystem right now has to market buy. And that is bullish in my opinion. The longer, that is so bullish. And in my opinion, I think Pulse Chain is going to be coming a little sooner than people think. I could be 100% wrong, but either way, I'm cool with it. But I really think we could see it, sooner than July, is what I heard a lot of people saying. But it could be July. It could be later than July. It could be next year. Who knows? But, you know, it's good that it's delayed because you can continue to dollar cost average into those ERC20s that you want a copy of,
Yep.
and you will have, the longer we wait until PulseChain, the more time you have to stack your bags and to get as many copies as you can. And that is a once in a lifetime opportunity, because once PulseChain launches, you're not going to have this opportunity again. And a lot of people are losing sight of that. And that's why I made that last video talking about it is, everybody's losing sight of it because of all the new shiny projects that's out, all the new sacrifices that are out. When they really need to wrap their mind back around, stop sacrificing, stop looking at the shiny thing, stop looking at, making hex stake NFTs, which is a good thing. I'm not putting it down or anything, but, remember that copy is right around the corner. Just stop for a minute and remember that you're about to get a copy of every single ERC20, every single hex stake, every single NFT. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Dude, that's a great point. I do want to talk about that a little bit. I love the bullish sentiment there. I like what you say. I guess I understood that, but when you actually put it out there and listen to it, it's like, wow, that is bullish. Like at this point, the only way anybody can get into these projects is to market buy them. And so that's, either when they come out, or the other way you can market buy them today is by buying Hex. And when you get your free copy, you can trade it.
Exactly.
Now, I do want to touch base a little bit. Let's talk through this. You said, buy your ERC20s and you'll get this free copy. So there's some things we need to be careful about in this conversation. And I'm actually going to repost part of my conversation with Hex Orca when we talked about this, because it's not as clean as it might sound. And let me walk you through that. So all ERC20s are getting copy, but not all ERC20s are going to be valuable. And the way I talked about it with him is the only one that we can be guaranteed is going to have value from day one is Hex. I would safely assume that ETH is going to have some value pretty quickly. Some of the bigger projects, Uniswap, maybe Chainlink, will get there. But the farther you go down that list, the farther down the ERC20 list you get, there's risk there. It's like, I joked, it's like going for a walk in the woods in Texas. Like the farther you get off from the path, the higher the probability that you're going to get bit by a snake.
And when I say that, I don't mean, non-good ERC20. I'm talking, I'm saying it in the sense that, people need to be responsible and use their own mind to figure out what ERC20s to do. I'm not saying go buy a lot of Shiba Inu and hope it get. I'm not saying that.
I actually think Shiba is not a halfway bad plan, honestly, but I'm not buying any.
But I'm just using it as an example, but it's don't go out and buy, the new 200 ranked ERC20. Don't do that. Just stick to what you like you said, Chainlink, Uniswap, stuff like that. The main core ERC20s, I think, will eventually be pretty valuable over there. I do think. Yeah. But yeah, Hex is the, I'm not accumulating anything else but Hex. I'm just saying that to grab other people's attention. And but yeah, keep stacking, guys, because it's going to be big. It's going to be big.
It's only big if we wait. That's it. I mean, that's the other thing I worry about is so many people are like, oh, it's got to be here. It's got to be here. And then what's going to happen when PulseChain launches? The expectations are going to be through the roof. And then, so people will be excited about that. And 2 weeks later, 4 weeks later, whatever, 6 months, 4 months, we're going to start seeing this didn't do anything. Everybody said 10,000x, this didn't do anything. And it comes back to what you were saying, which was delayed gratification. Like when PulseChain launches, I'm taking my bag of Pulse and I'm staking it to the delegator and I am walking away. I'm not touching it. 100%. I'm not trading it. I'm not doing a bloody thing other than buying more of it. So, I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan. I've said that before. He says something often, which is really impactful, and it goes to the delayed gratification. And that is adults devise a plan and they stick with it. Children do what feels good. And when from a psychological standpoint, that's like chasing quick gains. That feels good. That's fun. It feels like you're active. Adults stake Hex, they buy Pulse, and they go to work and forget about it. Treat this like a 401k. You're not checking your Fidelity balances every day. You're not worried about that. There's a war happening and the stock market is crashing, but history tells me 10 years from now, it's going to be higher. So I'm not even worried about that. Why would I do that with my crypto? I'm going to treat it the exact same. Stake it, forget about it.
That's it. 100%. That's the only, it's like, they preach the only people that get rich is holders and founders. You sit there and trade and get chopped up, man. That's, I tried to warn you. Everybody here has tried to warn you. Just be smart, man, because there is life-changing gains to be made if you can just be patient. Hell, I've only been in crypto a year and my life has changed. And that's what I want people to understand. I've been in crypto a year and my life has changed. If you can just sit, well, I got wrecked after I got wrecked. So,
I got wrecked too,
probably
bro.
gonna, everybody, that's a part of everybody's story, but once you get your ass burned that one time, you learn to, what to do if you go down the right path. So, you can go down the right path or the wrong path several times and still not learn your lesson. But once you learn that lesson and you learn to just buy, sit, and hold and stake, your life can change real quick.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. That is very true. Okay, I'm laughing at myself a little bit here because I am trying not to smile. And the reason why I'm trying not to smile as much is because there was some really, really funny comments yesterday on my video, and I'm going to share them here because one of my favorite things to do is to laugh at myself. I don't even know if I know.
That always feel good. It always feels good. Just a good laugh at yourself.
I don't even know how to find, I don't know how to use.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to find my stuff. Okay. Tweets and replies. Okay.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I'm going to go through this, but so I've heard this a few times and people are like, dude, your teeth are so freaking white. What is it that you're doing? And I'm like, okay, well, hold on a second. Here we go. This is freaking a riot. I'm going to share this. So first of all, I'm going to share this story because it's my daughter even makes fun of me. She's like, Dad, your teeth are almost kind of like ridiculously white. And it's in real person is not as bad as it looks, but whatever it is, the setup is with my ring light, it just like highlights this grill. It's like a shiny chrome grill. So anyway, look at this tweet right here. It's like, yo, bro, what are you doing with your teeth? Jesus, I need your full routine. And then there's a couple. Crypto Panda does the Fred Savage aggressively brushing his teeth. I followed up with this crazy smile. But this one right down here, I laughed at so hard. I shared this with my daughter. I shared this with my family. Oh, I don't want to reply. What am I doing? Let me open it up. I wish this was quicker. So this guy, Rodney, he puts this gif of like his super bright light blinding people. And then this comment right here, Stoned Hexakin. If you're listening, Stoned Hexakin, shout out to you. I know, right? Had to reduce the screen brightness of my laptop. Oh my God, that is so funny. And so now I'm trying not to smile because I don't want to blind people. Oh
yeah, don't blind them, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those ring lights, man. If you like have it on that fluorescent light, like it really does brighten up a lot of things that are like have a whitish like pearl tint. It really does.
Yeah, it does. I don't know why. So here's another thing I want to point out. I was really pleased with this. We have a lot of, you and I have talked about the community several times now and how there's some drama happening. People are at each other's throat, whatever, not being respectful. But I want to point this out too. This gentleman, Escape Velocity, says, let's see, what does he say? I was ready for some good FOMO, but regretfully, this line indexing token, it's been there all along since launch of testnet. So I'm going to click on this. We had a little talk. I put there, it wasn't there a couple of weeks ago, but anyway, what I went back with is I said, I could be wrong, but I really like the way you approached giving me feedback. He wasn't, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're setting us all up for failure. He just said, hey, I think, well, let's read it again because I like what he said. I was ready for some good FOMO, but regretfully, this line has always been there. It's been there since the launch of V2. So he's telling me I'm wrong, and I appreciate that. This was my response. And I want, this is how it should be in our community. Listen, if I'm wrong, I really liked the way you approached giving me feedback. It was honest, it was straightforward, it was polite. This is how we all need to be addressing each other when we disagree.
100%, man.
Thanks for being a leader.
100%.
I like that. So kudos to you. Escape velocity. I like your little avatar there too. Thanks for being cool.
I mean, brother. It's just genuine, man. You know, it's always refreshing to see a genuine person. You know, it really is.
There's so few of them these days.
There is. It's sad, but it's true for sure.
Yeah, man. So what else? What else do we need to talk about, Paul? Tell us a little bit more. You know, what are your hopes for the future? Let's get into the exciting part. Damn it, I'm smiling again. I'm going to talk like
that. Man, you're blinding me. I'm going to have to dim the screen.
I need to start drinking coffee. Oh, that's right. I wanted to tell you the story behind why my teeth are so white. This is, I used to be a pharmaceutical rep, and when you're a pharmaceutical rep, you just sit in these waiting rooms forever. And I was like 25 when I was doing this. And so I get bored and I'm reading these cosmopolitan magazines. And, you know, I'm trying to do research. I'm doing intel on my target audience, the ladies, right? I want to know what they're thinking. Right. And I see this article about 3 things you can do to not look your age. And it was addressed towards middle-aged people. And I was like, all right, now here's some good information. I got to follow this. What are the 3 things I can do to always keep myself looking young? Number 1, trim your eyebrows. You got to get rid of the bushy eyebrows. Number 2, take care of that gut, man. You can't have a beer gut. It is a dead giveaway of your age. And number 3 is stained teeth. Coffee stained teeth, yellow teeth. So I was like, check. I got the clippers out. I keep these eyebrows high and tight on a regular basis. I got a 6-pack, you know, but I went a little bit too all in on the Crest white strips. I think that's why. So for the last 20 years, I've been white stripping the teeth twice a year. And well, it works.
Look, hey, I mean, dude, that's a good problem to have, is white teeth. You know,
I'm going to be like a geriatric 80-year-old dude with these freaking pearlies, man. Pearly whites. Hey,
go out in style, man.
That's right. So there's your Cosmopolitan article from 2005 advice. If you want the ladies to not think you're aging, keep those eyebrows high and tight, keep the teeth white, and do some sit-ups.
And hold some hex.
I love it. Have you seen that meme? I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I wish I had. But have you seen the meme that's going around the Hex Twitter where it's a picture of an old fat guy with a really hot young girl on his side, like at the beach somewhere? And
I don't think I have.
It's the same picture side by side, and the first one is, "This is why you tell your son to buy Hex, so he can be the old fat guy with the hot young lady." And this is
right.
And then the next one is, it says, "And this is also why you tell your daughter she needs to own Hex, so she's not the young hot girl chasing after a rich old guy."
Right. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. So let's get into the fun conversation. This is the one I always enjoy the most, because it tells you a lot about a person. PulseChain goes to 10 cents. I think that's the 1000X. Mm-hmm. And Hex hits $100 5 years from now. What are you doing?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
It is. It's a fun one.
What I really wanted to do, since you know, and it's still kind of fresh on my mind. But with the past that I had, I really want to, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to be. If I ever do, you know, become that wealthy off of, I want to create some kind of treatment facility or homeless shelter for people with substance abuse problems and stuff like that. And just, you know, because nowadays you do have places that help, but there's so few and far between with people that actually run them, that have actually been there and been through certain things, that people need that to relate to other people. So I mean, you could go to school and learn about substance abuse and stuff like that, but you don't you don't know how they truly feel because you haven't lived it and walked in their shoes. And that's something I'm really, really passionate about is, I really just want to give back, man, because I know how they feel. I know how hopeless you feel, and it's not a good place. And that people just need somebody, man. Sometimes that's all it takes is one person to just actually, be genuine with you. And it can change your whole outlook. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like I said, I don't really know what it looks like yet, but that's where I want to head for sure.
That's really cool. I kind of had a sneaking suspicion you might do that,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to hear that. That's really cool. Um, now the more fun part.
Okay.
What type of spoils would you get yourself? You got a car, you got a boat, you got a
Oh man.
big ass house on a hill with a statue of a middle finger pointed
Well,
towards DC. I mean, what do you got? Tell me
um,
about the spoils. This is
one of our dreams. My wife, she used to, she grew up barrel racing horses. So our little dream is to just buy a big farm. I don't know where yet. I want to do like Montana or something like that. Just buy a big old ranch and farm. And she wants to learn how to, or she knows how, but she wants to start like training horses and stuff like that, man. I want to. That's what I want. I mean, but myself, what I want to spoil myself with, man, shit. Uh, I ain't had much my whole life, man. So I mean, I'm happy with something little. I don't really know.
yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
of course, like a car and stuff like that. But my main mentality is, just to give back to my family and the people that love me, that supported me through everything that I went through. So I try not to be selfish anymore because it got me in the wrong place.
What I like most about that answer is, when before I asked you the question, I said the answer to this question usually tells you a lot about a person. And you just told me everything I already knew, which is that you are a genuine salt of the earth guy. I mean, you started with, I want to give back, and you ended with, I never even really thought about that. I don't need anything more than I've already got. I don't need a fancy car. I've never even thought about that. And that's so completely different than most of the people that are in crypto. Everybody's in it for themselves. Everybody's in it to get wildly rich, and everybody's, win Lambo, win Porsche, win private jet. And none of that even came out of your mouth. And that's what I love about you, man.
No, that's not why I'm here, man. I'm here for a totally different reason. I'm here to build relationships, cultivate relationships, and just, money's great, man. Like I said in the beginning, the gains are awesome, but it's just a plus. If you get involved with crypto and you meet the right people, you can actually build connections that are way more valuable in the future than just money, because you can make all that money and lose it just as fast as you made it.
That's
It's
that.
it's putting it to good use is the plan. So that's I know it sounds like a textbook cliche answer, but it's really how I feel. I mean,
It's
I'm
not
young.
textbook and
I'm
cliche because
motivated.
you went right to it. You were just like, boom, this is what I want to do. That wasn't textbook or cliche. That's what I mean. I'm going to say this. What's a little bit sad is the fact that you said that's textbook and cliche, because our society has come to expect that when people say, oh, I want to do something good, that they're full of crap.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
shouldn't
you're
be.
right. You're
That
right.
should be the
You're
answer to the
right.
question all the time. What do you want to do? I want to do. I want to sponsor this facility. I want to, help build a new church. I want to take kids from the inner city and take them on a once of a lifetime trip. Those are the answers we need to be hearing. And those are the people I
And
want to hang
see,
out with. And that's why you and I are
right,
talking today, because I knew this about you.
and see, oh shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, when I was growing up, I always hung out with people, way older than me. I'm pretty young still. I'm about 28, so I mean I ain't too young, but I'm young. But I always hung out with people, older than I was, and as I got older and seen, the generation that I grew up, I'm just so ashamed of the generation I grew up in, man. It's just
Yeah.
disgusting. Everybody's just, ugh. It's just, I hate it. I hate it. I wish so. I sit there and dream sometimes I could just be raised back when my dad was born, like back in the 60s and 70s. I just wish. And people are like, you wouldn't last. You wouldn't work that hard. That's what I do. I work that hard now,
Yeah.
so it's just people, the generation nowadays are just lazy kids, man, that don't want to do nothing. It's sad.
There's a lot of them, but there are also a lot of really hard workers out there. I mean, it's easy
There is.
it's easy to point a finger at the millennials and say they suck, but there's a lot of really good ones out there. And a lot of it just comes from your upbringing.
There
I
is.
mean, we
There
live
is.
in the wealthiest country in the world. We live in one of the best times ever to be in America. And, I was talking with Crypto Heartbeat the other day, and he brought up a very good point, and that is money destroys kids. Because if they got no motivation, if they've never heard the word no, if they've never been like, no, hey, we're too poor, you can't have that, then they don't have that drive.
You wanna know a fun fact? And I found this out when I was in treatment. Well, 80% of the people I met that got addicted to drugs came from very wealthy families.
I believe it.
It's crazy, man. Like doctors, when I've met doctors, lawyers, judges, all kind of people, man. And it just goes to show you that kind of lifestyle doesn't discriminate against anybody. It's crazy.
Not at all. And in fact, I mean, I shouldn't say in fact, because I don't know this, but I can tell you that my wife is a healthcare provider. She works in the emergency room in a well-to-do city. And she says that all these rich kids are coming in trying to commit suicide, drug issues, and stuff like this because they're miserable. When you hand somebody something every day, whatever they want, they don't have to earn it. The expectation levels go through the roof. They become just, I don't know what I'm going to say here, but anyway, the expectations are there. Like my life is only as happy as what happens tomorrow when mom and dad give me something. And the same goes for, I mean, I'm not, I'm kind of guilty of that too. I've worked very hard. I've done well for myself. And I find myself sometimes chasing the what's next. Can I put an addition on the house, or do I need this, or what's next that's going to make me happy? And when I find myself getting into those loops, that's when I'm like, ooh, time to read a self-help book. Self-preservation right here. Some of the happiest people in the world, work their butt off. They come home smelling like crap because they're, a mechanic or working a farm or something like that. But it's that sense of accomplishment that brings us internal joy, not the next shiny object, the me,
exactly.
Consume.
Exactly.
Go out in the world and fix a problem, help somebody, build something. That's what's going to bring you joy.
100%.
Not a Lambo because you got lucky on some shit coin.
Yeah. Drive an 87 Chevy. It gets around just like a Lambo does, Yeah.
Oh, that's too good. I was a pretty sick kid. I spent way too much time in the hospital, weeks and weeks and weeks at an end. So if and when this goes big, I want to be a guy that, what's the name of that organization? There is, oh crap. There's a name of an organization that gives really sick kids, trips, presents, stuff like this. Like
I know what you're talking about.
I can't believe I don't know this. Like, oh, for crying out loud. This is embarrassing. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
I know exactly what you mean though.
I want to do that. I just want to go to a local hospital. Fortunately I'm in healthcare, so I can work my way through this, but I just want to be like, hey, tell me about a kid that is struggling, their family's struggling. They don't have many they don't come from means. The kid's in the hospital, he's sick. And I just want to bless that family. Like,
it's awesome.
Go pay off their house.
Awesome.
The kids, let's say the kid's not doing well. And what's your dream? Oh, I just want to go do this. Hey, let's jump on a plane. Let's go. I would love to do that because much to your point, you've been in those shoes. I've been in those shoes. I know what it's like. And that would be so rewarding. It'd be so much fun.
Just to see their faces, man. That's the whole gift in itself. Just to see somebody's demeanor when they're gifted with something like that. It touches you in places you didn't know, or it touches you with feelings that you didn't know you had. And It's awesome. It's a great feeling.
You're absolutely right. I need to Google this because the fact that I can't come up with the name of this charitable organization is driving me bananas. So one question I have for you, I want to talk about also, you've mentioned this a few times, but obviously you've got a really good relationship with your wife, and you told me earlier she stuck with you through some of your toughest times.
Yeah.
Tell me about her, man. She sounds like a great person.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've never met a woman like it before in my life. You know, she's not just my wife, she's my 100% best friend. We could hate each other 1 second and you know, love each other the next. It's just and the good part about it is, well, honestly, I met her when I was in active addiction.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and you know, we cut up a little bit together there for a while, and I got her on heroin. And
Oh no.
yeah, but I'm trying to think, you know, that we went through so much shit together, which being homeless. I was on the run from the law for a long time, and we were going through that together. Um, it was just a bond that you can't rip apart. And then
Okay.
when I got locked up and stuff, you know, I went in knowing that I would have somebody when I got out. I would have a best friend when I got out, you know, and she was there, do everything. She, you know, sent money, you know, always answers the phone, you know, and just keeps me updated with everything that's going on. And man, it was just, you know, and I have to give her credit because she got clean in the real world, out here in the real world, where it was I had to get clean behind, you know, bars. So she's a very strong woman, man, and you know, I could not ask for any better. I just couldn't.
That's awesome. I love hearing about relationships that are strong and good people, because there's not enough of that out there.
No, there's not. There's really not.
Man, well, we're bumping up on an hour here. I know you got stuff to do, so do I. Anything else you want to touch base on before we wrap it up?
Uh, not really, man. Like I said, I'm just grateful that you gave me the time to come on here and just do a video with you, man. Like I said, this is, you know, I've only been on YouTube a couple of months now, and you know, I started out watching you guys and inspiring you guys, or inspired by you guys, and it's just incredible that I'm on here now, and it's just awesome that you guys are so willing to reach out and give people time, and that's the reason I fell in love with this community in the first place. And I just want to thank y'all for that. And please don't change, please. Keep doing what we're doing, keep doing what y'all are doing, man, and you know, this we can make the world a better place 100%.
That's right, we can. Paul, I knew this was going to be a fun conversation, but I had no idea it was going to be this much fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you better. I really appreciate your level of openness and vulnerability, telling us your story, sharing with the community about your background, because I know somebody listening, all it takes is one that is going to be motivated by that, and it's going to help too. So thank you for doing that. And you know, let's stay in touch. Let's stay friends. I agree with you on the relationships part. We're going to have a lot of fun together as these projects grow and our communities grow. And it'll be fun to just have a couple cool cats by your side to share it with. So thank you for your time today, brother.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. And anytime. Thank you.
Yeah, be well.
All right, you too.